Oh boy, are we going to talk about video games today, which means I do need to focus on autopiloting, as odd as that may sound. But as we get our Herald Knight Errant run with Koji, let's focus on that first before I go on. We'll do three custom mysteries today as well. Hey. And I'm gonna leave that in because pre-recorded video. So, but yeah, that's just the thing for me. This video should take no longer than 15 minutes, both for you and at least this time for me. But we're on Knight Errant. We're on Herald. Random item stats on, and let's get into it. So, as we get into Herald Knight Errant random item stats Koji, yeah, this is gonna be very interesting because we want to talk about some video games today, and because I'm a video game developer, it kind of involves me as well. Knowledge to a lesser extent, a lot lesser extent. Light, second encounter, charisma, Takushi-san, and maybe a second mystery check, but let's just take 5 reasons to be off with our life. We have knowledge. We are a knowledge character, with the help of the camera as well. But we'll see what we can do with the occult shop. But yes, otherwise video games, specifically the topic of... Hold on, I need to look at my mysteries first. That's right, I might as well just get through the thing first, so I actually can't go off topic until I move on. I mean, because I normally like... I forgot to fill the empty bottle. I like to name out the mysteries I'm doing for this run, or the video, during a video. So, Flood, Scissors... Oh, that's already bad. Colt, Shivas, and Postal. And I feel like I have a lot more boss mysteries with these custom mysteries, which is a good thing. It makes the game harder. It makes it more fun, too, for me anyway. But anyway, what do I want to do first? I guess we do Colt first. Maybe fail the charisma check, just in case we have a boss, even though we have other boss mysteries we do need to take care of. Anyway, but yeah, video games, and specifically the topic of basically optimizing video games for a player's setup. I have actually refunded a game on stream on my channel, I'm pretty sure, and if that's incorrect, please let me know, but that was more a me thing, and for me, this is not like some kind of I'm not trying to imply... Also, I just realized, do I have the thingamajiggy on? I think I do. So that means this is going to be a really interesting run. I mean, it's still base characters with custom content, so that was the whole point. But now I need my funds. So, well, I'm going to restock. We're here for a thing. And yeah, okay, we do have custom... Okay, that's right, because custom items in the plugin that I'm using, that's apparently being used, and I know because this is not an item that's in the base game, for those who don't know, it's a... they can be assigned to shops. But we need the small candle instead. It is 4 damage, and we get prep attack, or 4 attacks, so... Bling, bling, bling. Anyway, whatever the sound is. Mansion, max threat level. Hospital, max threat level. High threat level, Seaside. And I have a bunch of boss mysteries, so... I don't think I have Ward. We'll just put the police patrols in the mansion for now, and then see what happens. But yeah, otherwise, basically running games, because a lot of the reasons why I would probably refund a game, aside from the fact that maybe the game's not fun, is that the game does not just run, and so therefore, I mean, if it doesn't work for you, there's no point bringing home, there's no point bringing home a car that can't be used, there's no point bringing home a tool that breaks immediately, and that's kind of what, not insurance, but... guaranteed, whatever. So you can add things on. So say you're flying in an airplane and your ticket the flight gets canceled, and so there's a way for you to get your money back. Oh, did I just do a thing, by the way? I did. Oh, that ruined that. And the same thing can be said for video games. If a video game doesn't work, or I mean, to a lesser extent, if it's not fun, although that depends. Obviously, if you are trying to dupe people, that's a no-go, but if for whatever reason a game breaks because a developer has not optimized it, it breaks your audio or breaks your PC, yeah, you should probably be able to get your money back if it's no fault of the customer themselves. Now, this goes both ways, obviously. Again, in my case, if we're to use myself as an example, I know for a fact that the setups that I'm using are not the most powerful, even though I'm currently recording on a more powerful setup. That doesn't mean that every single game will work the same for different people. Let me repeat that again. That doesn't mean a set of games will work the same for one person, also I'm saying it another way, than for a second person. Even though, so one person can run a high fidelity shooter, but then for some reason they can't run Vampire Survivors. And I'm gonna name drop names because it's kind of important to kind of focus in this time. into examples. But say you're playing Caves of Qud. Qud? Is that how you say it? Qud? Qud? Qed. I'm going crazy. Let's take Flood now. Or you're playing Dwarf Fortress. Those games, well, they're both pixel games. You know, the requirements that they have are different. One of them might have high fidelity, like Vampire Survivors, so pixels on the screen exploding at you makes a 10-minute recording 2 gigabytes big. But then recording Dwarf Fortress for like 30 minutes is only like 600 megabytes. These are kind of close to real numbers, by the way. So I'm actually making accurate, closer to accurate references. So. Yeah, however, the processing power that both, say, Vampire Survivors, Caves of Qud, and Dwarf Fortress may need are near the same because they're doing a lot of things under the hood. So while graphic-wise, they may require different amounts or usually lower amounts, especially for games that have pixel graphics. That doesn't mean that, you know, the whole experience is going to be smooth for just a player playing casually on their own for either enjoyment or maybe you are making content, streams, videos, so on and so forth. It would be nice to grab a thing, but I don't know if I should really... Let's actually see. Let's see what happens when I try to grab a damage researcher. Do I get punished for it? Not yet. But we're gonna go the whole hog here and move on. I've been using hog and farm as common words lately. But hey, it turned out well. So we rest the whole time, all the way, because we might as well just get our stamina back as much as possible, and off we go. But other examples include, well, again, I mentioned a lot of pixel graphics, and we can include Undertale in this as well, or most video games made by Toby Fox, where it's likely low disk space if you're recording a video of, if you're recording, say, gameplay of Undertale, as opposed to, you know, again, Vampire Survivors. Those are the main 2 examples that I have in my head that I have actual numbers for, but. Again, that doesn't mean, and maybe Deltarune is a bit bigger because there are a lot of flashing things on screen, which is a large contributor as to basically a video size, but you get where I'm trying to get at here. There's a lot that goes on under the hood, and that's just trying to record or live stream a game. Now, if a game just completely doesn't work, and then a player has to refund it, yeah, that's kind of the threshold we're looking at here. And then obviously you move on to other games that are not pixel graphics, and I will mention examples that I have, like Frostpunk 2, like Our Adventuring Guild, like Drapline, like World of War, even right here. Well, you can say it's pixel graphics. I mean, again, the point is that all of these games perform differently and may be faster or slower based on settings that obviously the player has control of. Oh, hold on, let me focus on these things for a moment. Oh yeah, Postal next. But if they just don't work at all because something breaks, then hey, although I think every single game I mentioned in the past minute or two are games that actually work for me specifically, and I can make content in. Now, obviously, some of them require a stronger setup to record comfortably, but again, that's what I mean by, if it doesn't, I'm not saying a game has to work on a potato, but it does have to be, I guess, games have been moving towards, hey, more stuff, more hardware requirements. You need a insert graphics card name 4011 GGX. Like, you get the point. I don't think that's the best direction to push it. But obviously there is an audience for it, especially for those who are connoisseurs of graphics and so on and so forth. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but and it's not a minority of players, at least from what I am aware of, but you are still losing a large number of the player base. That being said, again, this is a very it has a lot of details and nuance that goes into it. I'm not saying even the most popular games, say like Clair Obscur, Ghost of Yotei, I'm not saying those games are going to be performing badly. They performed quite well from what I understand, but, oh, I need a brace here, by the way, but if people want to enjoy the game, they will. But that threshold, that tolerance for, hey, this game looks great, maybe I'm not able to record it, but at least I can play it myself. And again, we're moving more towards the topic of whether a player consumes something for fun and they can actually just run the game. Yeah, that's an important, I do think that's an important part of, that is a bigger factor to a game's enjoyment than some people might believe. And I'm not trying to imply anyone specific, I just mean, like, conceptually speaking, it's easy to kind of throw away, hey, a game doesn't perform the best, or maybe its graphics are not, like, smooth enough. That's certainly smaller, at least in my opinion, than is the game fun. Whether it's the story, people are drawn into a story, like the characters, like the gameplay itself, like the design of the game, like the aesthetic of a game, so on and so forth. Yeah, it would be great. Also, we're getting a lot of postcards, by the way. Hey, Doom. Hey, more Doom. We're on 75% Doom on our third mystery. We are going to be in a lot of pain. So, we can Desperate Struggle, but let's just do a wild attack for a moment, and then if we can do 3 attacks here, that would be great. Now, hitting every attack, however, is a completely different question. But otherwise, it's great. You know what's not great? My Doom, but that's the cost of, I think, Knight Errant. I think Knight Errant literally just slapped 16% Doom on me. So we would actually be healthy if we didn't suffer penalties from Knight Errant, which was the first 2 mysteries. I think, funny enough, we got ending A there on Postal, but anywho. And then Scissors is just out of our control. If we get Timeline B, there's no way we can get Ending A. So let's find out if we just get another 6 Doom slapped in our face. That being said, also we have the Gruesome Totem, never mind. But more importantly, Scissors is a relatively short mystery anyway, but we do need to get this right to get Ending A. So, double star, off we go. Also, backpack, but I think we have to have it equipped to use it? Yeah. And I don't want to unequip the camera, so off we go. But yeah, and again, as I mentioned earlier, I have just refunded games because they just didn't, they didn't even run. I'm not even saying like, oh, it records well, or I can stream the game. Like literally, it did not go. So basically, I mean, I can play a game at like 20 frames per second. That's what Vampire Survivors was for me for a long time. But yeah, when it stays at like 10 to 15 frames or lower most of the time, then yeah, that's probably not going to fly for me. So now, am I going to hit both of these attacks is my next question. Unless we don't need to. We don't need to. Also, I don't need to use prep to guarantee an attack, but I've already queued it up, and I only need 10 damage, so off we go. So, as we grab free experience, because whether you succeed or fail, you're going to get experience. Now, do you get a curse? That's something different, but hey. But yeah, game's running, and that kind of applies to me as well. And the reason why I said it applies to me later, why do stats not matter? The reason why I say it has to matter. Also, did I not do the sigil, by the way? I did not, didn't I? This is going to be a bit troublesome now. So, we're going to, funny enough, heal Reason, and I guess we're just going to get slapped with Knight Errant. I'm shrugging in real life as I say that. So, whoopsie doopsie, it's time for a big Scissor Lady fight. That being said, did I also not pick up the bat? Well, hey. We need a brace no matter what, that I know for sure. If we hit every single one of these normal attacks coming up, we should be able to survive, but boy, do I suffer for it. So we're definitely going to throw the empty bottle. And then we can just guarantee our way out, because 33 power doesn't means oh, never mind, I lied. We're going to do this for funsies, so yeah, I didn't need to throw the empty bottle. I'm going absolutely insane. But anywho, as we take Knight Errant in the face and lose Bath, I mentioned that I'm included in this topic that I've talked about this video because with RPG Maker games, it is quite possible to make an RPG Maker game that does not even just play smoothly. If for no other reason than for some reason the developer does not. Oh goodness gracious! I think we can one-shot this encounter. Yeah, this should be a one-shot guaranteed. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they don't. Maybe they like make an event that for some reason does 10,000 things at once. And it really slows the game down. So not only are you not able to record or live stream the game comfortably, it just runs slow anyway. So it actually runs at like 10 to 15 frames per second, even if you are not doing anything else on your computer. Which is just a side note for about 15 seconds. That is something that a lot of players do. They have things running up behind, not even like just antivirus, and maybe they're just doing some file transferring things. They might just have tabs open in their browser. And then that also adds into the thing. I'm not saying that game developers need to account for this. I'm just saying that when a game doesn't perform well, it's going to perform even worse depending on the player and their setup. So, shrug. But we can skip Shiva's here. I think we just keep healing Reason because we don't have enough Doom/time to rest, really. So we're going to flee, take 2 Reason, and off we go. But yeah, for me specifically, you know, I don't want to say it is not a negative thing because there's a lot going on in the game, but Fear and Hunger and Fear and Hunger 2, more accurately, Fear and Hunger 2, has a lot going on under the hood while the game is, you know, while you're playing the game. And so therefore, it has some wonky times in which things can stop. But it still performs really well, granted you know, sometimes bullets pass through enemies, but I just consider it a gameplay element, although it is technically a bug. So Knowledge, Light, We don't have a light source. We do have cursed scissors, but I don't want to use them because Doom. We do have Takshisan. I don't remember if I used the handcuffs, but we can survive this lighthouse. Do I feel like I will, though? So let's just... I don't want to assume I failed a second encounter check, but I guess we're going to do so, because I need to rest for the sake of reason. After that, though, so we need to rest at least twice, and I think we can just head off. We got a second camera, by the way. Also, I forget, I never popped this inspiring novel. I was autopiloting way too much. But we do have handcuffs. We also have pain medication. So yeah, I mean, I might as well just use it. But if we run into the light check first, then we'll be super good for this lighthouse, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, basically this is just, if nothing else, this video, if no one listens, then it's for me making my own RPG Maker games that, yeah, just try to make sure that the game runs smoothly. And that a lot of that involves, I don't know, actually, Sweaty Assailant? Yeah. I knew I took Flit second, so shrug. But try not... Oh my goodness gracious, we didn't have charisma. That's right, I'm going crazy. No! But the last thing I can say, I mean, I'm not going to cut out because this is not a regular video anyway, but yeah, the way to save on making a RPG Maker experience smoother is to not make your things... Hey, is that an eye in the window? Make your events too complex, or try not to make a game too complex. Now, that being said, obviously, if you're making gameplay elements, then you have to do things. But the way, yeah, nothing else to say if you watch this video. If you want to support me, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!